Hello, welcome back. This is still Lesson 8 Grammar. We are continuing on from our adjectives, and the next part we have is adverbs. Alright, so we have totemo and amari. So totemo and amari are adverbs of degree, meaning they add meaning of degree, or like the amount or the level of the adjective or the verb. Okay, both come from before the adjectives that they are modifying. Totemo is used in affirmative sentences and means very, and amari is used in negative sentences, and it is paired with the negative form of an adjective, and it means not very. That combination, okay? So we have the samples here. 北京はとても寒いです。北京はとても寒いです。If you remember, 寒い means cold and とても means very, so Beijing is very cold. And we also have これはとても有名な映画です。これですはとても有名な very famous 映画です。Okay? And then let's go with the negative forms. 上海はあまり right? Not very 寒くないです。あまり寒くない。And 桜大学 Sakura University はあんまり有名な大学じゃありません。有名な、あんまり有名な not very famous 大学じゃありません。Alright, okay. Let's clarify some things here. First up, we have とっても。Okay. とっても。とっても, which means very. Okay. So, usually used with affirmative form. Okay. Okay. 北京はとても寒いです。Alright, structure wise, topic, noun, marker for topic or noun, とっても adverb, 寒い adjective. Okay, this is ender. So as you can see here, とっても comes before the adjective, okay? And it means very. Now let's go with this is an e adjective, okay? And na adjective, これはとても有名な映画です。これはとっても有名な映画です。Now let's focus here. Okay, とっても有名な映画。とっても means very, right? So this is our adverb. 有名な adjective. 映画 noun. Let's chop it down. This is using noun はとっても adverb. Adjective this. The fact that the adjective is before this, it means that this is from our previous grammar forms. This means that the adjective is a predicate, okay? And if it's a na adjective here, we don't use na. We don't use na if it is coming before this. Alright? Okay. And this one is noun wa adverb adjective na noun. This. Focusing on this part, we are using the adjective as a modifier because it comes before the noun and is followed by a noun. Okay, which means if it's an adjective, we use na. Okay, so totemo, usually used with affirmative form. So とっても有名な映画です。Okay, 有名な映画です。とっても means very. Now we go to あまり。あまり。Okay, あまり means not very, used with negative. Example, we have Shanghai. Shanghai はあまり寒くないです。寒くないです。Again, あまり adverb 寒い is the original form, the positive form, but because it's negative, because it's paired with amari, 寒くないです。Okay, now this means Shanghai is not very cold. Okay, Shanghai is not very cold. Shanghai wa amari, not very, 寒くない because amari means not very, we pair it with the negative form of the adjective. So 寒い、寒くない。Okay? 寒い、寒くない。Okay? Remove the e part, remove this, replace with kunai. Next, for our na adjective, this is an e adjective. Okay, for our na adjective, we go sakura, sakura, dai, gaku, Sakura University. Wa, amari, yume, na, dai, gaku, ja, arimasen. Okay? Again, let's focus on this part. This part, amari, not very. Yume na daigaku is the same form as before, right? Yume na eiga. So it's as is. It is used as is, na adjective. This is an adjective. And what we did to make this sentence negative is replace this with ja arimasen. Again, if you remember from the previous video, we had adjectives, na adjectives. To make them negative, we replace this with ja arimasen. Replace this with ja arimasen. Okay, let's not dwell on that since I went went deeper with that part. So let's continue on with our lesson. Next up, we have here noun wa dou desu ka? Okay, noun wa dou desu ka? This question is used to ask an impression or an opinion about a thing, a place, or a person, etc. that the listener has experienced, visited, or met. Okay, for example, 日本生活はどうですか? 日本生活はどうですか? How is the life in Japan? Okay. And then usually it is answered with an adjective to describe the noun that is in the previous sentence, the question sentence. All right? Okay. Now, noun wa do desu ka? Okay. Noun wa do desu ka? Do desu ka? Again, ka question mark, do how. Okay. Noun, topic, wa marker for the topic of the sentence. Okay. Now let's go with our sample in the slide. Nihong. Okay. Oh, right. I forgot that you can read this kanji now. Nihong. Okay. Seikatsu wa do desu ka? Nihon seikatsu wa do desu ka? Okay. Nihon seikatsu is the topic here. Topic or the noun. Okay, wa is the marker for the topic, and this is the question here, how. Okay, so Nihon seikatsu means life in Japan, and then how. Life in Japan is how. So if you translate it to English, you say, how is life in Japan? Nihon seikatsu wa dou desu ka? Again, it can be other things as well, such as person or a thing. For example, sushi. Okay, we're talking about sushi. Sushi wa dou desu ka? How is sushi? How is the sushi? Or what do you think of sushi? Okay, sushi wa dou desu ka? Oishii desu. Or oishiku nai desu. Okay, you can also put here a person. For example, sensei. Sensei wa dou desu ka? Sensei wa dou desu ka? What do you think of sensei? Or how is sensei? Okay. Sensei sushi. Dou desu ka? Dou desu ka? Okay, that is noun wa dou desu ka? Now, how do we answer this question? For example, here, Nihon seikatsu wa dou desu ka? You answer this with an adjective. How do you think is the life in Japan? Example, you're living in Japan, right? Someone asks you, Nihon seikatsu wa dou desu ka? How is life in Japan? You may say, tanoshii desu. Tanoshii desu. Or you can say, tanoshiku nai desu. And so on and so forth. It can be positive, it can be negative. Okay? Let's continue on with our slides. So that was noun wa dou desu ka? Alright. Continuing on, our next grammar is noun wa donna noun to desu ka? Okay, so this is when the speaker wants the listener to describe or explain noun 1 here. This question pattern is used. So noun 2 denotes the category the noun 1 belongs to. The interrogative donna is always followed by a noun. Donna is always followed by a noun. Okay. Noun 1. Noun 1. Wa donna noun 2 desu ka? Okay, another question, right? So noun 1 is the noun here of focus, topic. Donna noun 2. Noun 2 is the category. And donna means what kind. Okay, so if you want to translate this into English, what kind of noun 2 is noun 1. Okay. So for example, here in our example sentence in our slides, Nara wa donna machi desu ka? Okay. Nara wa donna machi desu ka? Okay. Nara here is the noun 1, which is the topic of the sentence. And then machi here is the category, which means town. Okay, town. And then this is a place. Nara is a type of town. So, what kind of town is Nara? Donna, what kind? So, Nara is what kind of town? Question mark. So what kind of town is Nara? Someone answered, the person answered, Furui machi desu. Furui machi desu, which means it's an old town. Okay? Old. So you usually answer it with an adjective as well. That describes what type of or what kind of town Nara is, or what kind of noun 2, noun 1 is. Okay? You can also ask, Sensei wa donna hito desu ka? What kind of person is sensei? So this is sensei is a person, and this is the category, hito, person. Okay, teacher. What kind of person is your teacher? Okay, sensei wa donna hito desu ka? Yasashii hito desu. Yasashiku nai hito desu. Okay, and so on and so forth. So that is donna. Again, we have to take note here that donna is always followed by a noun. Okay, donna is always followed by a noun, always. Okay, it's the same principle as kono, sono, and ano. If you remember, this, that over there, but they're always followed by a noun. They're always paired with a noun. So that was noun 1 wa donna, noun 2 desu ka. Next is ga, but. Okay, so ga is a conjunctive particle, meaning but. It is used to link sentences. Now this is a simple concept. This is a simple grammar, so we won't dwell on it much. So sentence 1 ga, sentence 2. Okay, Nihon no tabemono wa oishii desu. We have that. And Nihon no tabemono wa takai desu. So these are two sentences, right? Nihon no tabemono means Japanese food. Okay, oishii means delicious. Takai means expensive. Nihon no tabemono wa oishii desu means Japanese food is delicious. Nihon no tabemono wa takai desu. Japanese food is expensive. Now, what is the common theme between these two sentences? They have the same topics. Another theme here that you can see is they have contrasting ideas. Same topics, but contrasting ideas. That is where ga comes in. If you want to combine these sentences, these two sentences, if you want to combine them and make it into one complex sentence, you put ga in between them. And because they have the same topics, you don't need to add the same topics twice. Okay, for example here. Nihon no tabe mono wa oishii desu ga, kama, takai desu. Right. Still, Japanese food, delicious, but expensive. Now, if you notice here, we did not repeat Nihon no tabemono wa. Okay? Right? We don't have this anymore. This can be omitted because the topic is already stated on the first part of the sentence, which is Nihon no tabemono wa oishii desu. Ga, okay, ga, this is our grammar for this one. Ga takai desu. Japanese food is delicious but expensive. Okay, so that is how you use ga. It is a conjunctive particle that connects two sentences together to make one big idea or one complex sentence. Now, moving on to our last grammar for this lesson, for lesson 8, dore. Dore is an interrogative that is used to ask the listener to choose or designate one from more than two things concretely named or shown. Okay, for example, Minasan no kasa wa dore desu ka? Which one is Mr. Miller's umbrella? Ano aoi kasa desu. Alright. Let's try to make this idea more ingrained in our minds. Okay, dore. Dore, which means which one. Okay, dore means which one. Okay, if we see here, Mira san no kasa wa dore desu ka? Okay. Mira-san means Mr. Miller. This means apostrophe S, right? Possessive. Kasa, umbrella. Wa, of course, marker of the topic because our topic here is Mr. Miller's umbrella. Dore, which one? Question mark. Okay. Which one is Mr. Miller's umbrella? Dore. Which one? So I have drawn this multiple times in the past, but let's say there's an umbrella rack, right? And then there's a different umbrellas here. There's a clear one, there's a white one, there's a blue one, there's a purple one, and stuff like that. Which one is Mr. Miller's umbrella? The person says, ano aoi kasa this. Ano means that over there, right? Aoi means blue. I know they're all blue, but let's just say. Let's just say they're different. Kasa means umbrella. Now this is adjective paired with a noun. Adjective used as a modifier for the noun. Okay? Ano aoi kasa desu. That blue umbrella. Okay, so that is how you use dore. So you have like choices between like a few things or a few of the same things or two different things. Okay? For example, sensei sumaho. Sensei no sumaho wa dore desu ka? Okay? Sumaho means smartphone, phone. Okay? Sensei no sumaho wa dore desu ka? Okay, dore desu ka? For example, there is a pen and there is a smartphone. So which one is Sensei's smartphone? Of course, you'll say this one. Okay? That is dore. I will see you in the next video for our lesson 9 and then on the next for our lesson 10. Good luck in your studying. See you next time.